What I was trying to say is that the 12 major creations also within themselves contained the exact number of their creation. For instance, in the 12th major creation, there are 12 local universes, or you could say the 12 major creation divides into 12 organized local universes, with which Nebadon happens to be one of them. For instance, the 11th universe or major universe of mechanism, which is the 11th, has a total of 11 universes. So, also, we could say that since, according to the holographic concept of existence, as each part breaks off and it contains the essence of the whole, as the 12 local universes break off themselves, they also divide into 12 galactic systems. And each galactic system divides into 12 major constellations, what is known as the zodiac. And each major constellation also divides into 12. And that explains why also our solar system was originally born with a family of 12 planets. So I'm going to continue here. Every living soul, where am I? Every living soul that came to live in the 12th universe had their origin as it were born out of the breath of God in the second and third universes. In retrospect, the first universe was dedicated to the great silver sun, the firstborn in heaven, Jesus, and all the beings or intelligences there were as pure as his essence. The living souls which were born out of the breath of God in the second and third universes were the same souls that proceeded in their involution in the following universes. Each universe was governed by its own particular ray, which provided all of God's descending children with a new experience each time. Each time these descending souls would come into a new creation under a new ray, as each ray would afford them the opportunity to explore a different aspect, wavelength of the one pure light essence. According to this cosmology, all souls come to be born out of the breath of their parents, for sex did not exist until the last creation, the 12th universe, when the vibrations lowered into the 12th in dimension downward, eventually into the third dimension. This was primarily due to the fact that all beings from the first universe to the 11th universe were etheric and were capable of reproducing by combining essences coupled with focused thought form and collectively intending the child of their union into existence. This is the same way each universe and all of our Creator's original children were firstborn in spirit essence. So our first birth into being a conscious, individualized unit of or particles or extensions of the one source, as we inherit individuality, as we proceed in the descent process, is first out of a spirit essence. So our true nature has always been energy, vibration, and light. So as light, we have always existed. It is that when the unqualified absolute of the highest regions decided to first divide itself and begin the process of involution, that we began to inherit individuality as children of the one creation, or the one living light at the center of all that is. In addition, each universe, all souls became endowed with the same creative powers of the Godhead, as we were made in the similitude and likeness of our Creator. Eventually, each universe returned to its prime source as the ascension process took effect. It has been revealed by Lord Michael that the 12th universe, being the largest of all of the other universes, is ready to come home now, and it's also the last one to ascend. This explains the resolution coming into fruition in our world in these glorious times where heaven is scheduled to materialize on the earth. The process of creation, however, does not end there. It only marks the completion of the seventh super universe as revealed in the Urantia papers. And for the record, let it be known that all souls born in the last creation or extension of the seven super universes were endowed with all the 12 cosmic rays, as to why we have 12 overall chakra systems or energy centers within human bodies. Each major chakra or energy center is in direct relation to one of the 12 living universes or major universes that extended from the core of the super universe segment, which is known as the core universe. In order to understand the sacredness of the 7 and 12, in reference to the 7 super universes and 12 major creations, we must understand the pattern that shaped our world. Looking within the records of all sacred traditions, it has been known by most adepts, mystics, and saints that the numbers 7 and 12 are the most sacred numbers, as they are related to one another. We can see this repeating pattern in almost everything. For instance, God created the heavens and the earth in 7 days. There are 7 days in a week, as there are 7 levels of initiation in the ascension process. There are 7 major chakras in our physical body, technically 12. Not to mention, according to the secret doctrine, there are 7 evolutionary cycles of civilization corresponding to the 7 evolving root races on planet Earth. In like manner, for the sacred number 12, there are 12 astrological houses in our galaxy known as the Zodiac. There are 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus had 12 apostles. There were 12 knights of the Round Table in the courts of Camelot, etc., etc. Not to mention, in our original makeup, we had 12 functioning chakras, as there are 12 strands of DNA. However, the other 5 chakras are located outside of our body, connecting us to the different spheres of the cosmos, or what scientists would call the realms of dark matter and dark energy. In comparison of these two cosmologies, 7 and 12 are sacred divine numbers as they pertain to the overall creation of the Godhead. Although let's not forget about 3, which is perhaps the most important number. One thing to understand is that our omniverse operates in perfect order, and that order is reflected in all things, as there are different aspects, extensions, and manifestations of the one God source, all functioning together as different parts of the same whole. Therefore, we may say that perhaps in the great beginning there was only one single undivided whole, as there still is at the highest point of existence, or in its primal state. This state of existence could also be classified as the unqualified absolute or primal virgin birth of the expanding cosmos. So in the creation and expansion of this whole unqualified absolute, the first step was to first divide into 3, as 3 becomes the first underlying pattern to all that is. This was the initial step in the creation, expansion, involution, and evolution of all living universes. The first division also gave us the concept of the Trinity, as stated in the arranged material. The Paradise Trinity came into being, in which everything comes from, including our Christian Trinity. In this process, as the one becomes the 3, we first begin to see this pattern in the 3 major planes of existence: celestial, spiritual, etheric, mental, and material, physical. From the macrocosmic level, we see the Trinity as the central universe, the super universes, and the local universes. From a local universe level, we see the Trinity as galactic, solar, and planetary. Or in terms of the cutting-edge science information revealing the advanced space-age civilization, we see him as galactic, stellar, and planetary. In this process, at a personal level, we see it as the spirit, mind, and body, which makes up the human being, the last and final extension of the Godhead. First, God the whole, which is 1, becomes the 3, and then it divides into 7. The 7 mighty Elohim, the 7 archangels, the 7 super universes, etc., etc. However, bear in mind that this is the same substance, unqualified absolute, now divided into 7 aspects or equal parts of itself. Most importantly, let it be understood, as validated by both quantum physics and metaphysical knowledge, that there is only one immeasurable force with innumerable parts, as a